Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 64. I'm back. Did you miss me? I am back in the United States. I am back in the Midwest, and I am on my way to a casino, day one. Here I am, baby. Let's go for it. Woke up this morning, got a shower, got dressed, got out the door. Car wouldn't start. Had to work on all that. Got the car jumped. Everything is fine now because I hadn't used it in a while and I had stuff plugged in there, so all that's over. I need to stop at a gas station before my first stop, before my first casino, so I got to do that. I've been on the road now for about an hour and a half. I've got about an hour of gas left before I have to stop, so I will do that, then head off to my first place. I have a meeting early this morning I'm going to have to take care of, and then no other meetings scheduled right now, although I should be in the office. I am going to be gambling today. I need to make up for a very poor month so far, and it's already the end of the month, so try to make some money. Let me think here. Just real quick, just a quick wrap up here about my trip. It was a good trip overall. Kids were not great. They argued a lot. They were probably nervous a lot of the time. There was some crazy stuff, but everything ended up being okay. They saw some things they didn't expect, like police with machine guns standing everywhere. People standing around the Eiffel Tower selling stuff that weren't supposed to be there. And they had this big sheet that they would lay out on the ground, and they'd always be putting out their wares like they were just setting up, and we couldn't understand why until later on we saw a police van pull up and the sliding door open and a cop sitting there, and all of them pulled a strap in the middle over their shoulder, and it was kind of like a bag, and they could run with all their stuff, and then the cops ended up driving off. They were just trying to scare the guys. So one thing that was cool about the Eiffel Tower is at night, when it was dark, the first 5 minutes of every hour it would sparkle like crazy. That was cool. I posted a video of that. But overall, very rude. It seemed like they had shortages of everything, shortages of meat. Nobody gave you a bag for anything. You had to bring your own bags. Nobody really gave you any napkins. You hardly got any utensils. If you did get utensils, they were made out of real thin, like balsa wood, so it wasn't the greatest. I had a hard time getting cash. I never did really get euros. I ended up with about 50 euros. That's about all. But got through all that, and we're back home, and I'm here to make money. Right now, I am heading off to my first casino. I am going to play primarily slots there. I am going to do a meeting on the way there. I hope I brought everything I'm supposed to bring with me. I just picked up my work backpack and I left the house. So I'm going to let you go right now. It is 32 degrees outside. By the way, I turned off the thermostat before we left home and forgot to turn it back on when we left Paris. So we got home, it was 56 in the house, and temperature still hasn't recovered. So sorry about that, family, but everything will be okay today. It's going to warm up into the 50s, so temperature should be fine. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I will be back. All right, guys, real quick shout out to Nay in Paris. I'm sorry I wasn't able to meet you, but shout out to you, and we'll stay in touch, maybe do a phone call, and also to Don John in Australia, shout out, and we'll be in touch. We'll communicate a little bit more through email and maybe do a phone call as well. Who knows, I might end up there one of these times. And anyway, I'm still on my way to the first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to stop for gas right now, but I just remembered something that I thought you guys might want to hear. We used British Airways for our trip, and 3 of the 4 legs of our trip went through American Airlines, and they allowed us to Okay, so if you check in a bag, it's like $80 or $100 per leg to check your bag in. Very expensive. So we ended up taking a bag, a carry-on, and like a backpack each, so we would save that money. But it seems like when the flights are full, and this happened to every flight that we were on, they allowed us to check our bag in for free. So we checked our bag in before we left home, and it went all the way to London. And then we checked our bag in Paris. It went all the way to Philadelphia. We had to take it through security and then checked it back in Philadelphia the rest of the way, and there was no charge. So I thought that was kind of interesting to know. You could save a lot of money that way and still not have to carry your bag. So if you have multi-legs on your journey, it'd probably be a good idea just to do a carry-on and let them take it for free rather than paying for it. All right, guys, I am back. I got gas, got all that stuff taken care of, went on to the first casino and started looking around and saw some games had been removed. Some games have been sliced way back, which is unfortunate because those were my bread and butter at this place. Went from 3 machines down to 1, and new game put in, which is new everywhere now. It's been in Vegas for about a year. Doesn't pay very well overall. You have to have really good conditions for it to pay, and unfortunately a lot of the ploppy money is going to be going into that machine, and we don't make a lot of money off it. So that's not good. I don't know why this person in front of me is completely stopped. We are getting on a highway here. Anyway, finally found a machine to play after looking at about 15 machines. Sat down to play that. It was about $2.50 a spin, and started playing that, and the drain began right away. It's like, all right, MW, welcome back. Time to take your money. And I was in that thing $350 before it finally hit, and paid me $270, somewhere in there. I was down about $90. Went around the whole casino, couldn't find any other games to play. Wrapped back around, looked at the original things again, the same areas, and then was able to get ahead on one machine. Got me my 90 back plus about 70 more, and then I was about done and looked at 2 last machines. I wasn't going to check them because they're right in front of the cashier, and the cashier lady that knows that I'm banned from another location is always watching me, and the machine is right in front of it, and I checked it anyway, and that one paid pretty well, and I ended up leaving the casino ahead $288, so plus $288 there. And I'm moving on to another casino. Had some communication with people at work, already took care of my meeting for the day, and setting up a couple for this afternoon to get caught up on what's going on. Got about 400 emails to catch up on as well, so I'll be doing that, and we'll see what happens. So right now, temperature is up a little bit. It's 37 degrees, and I'm moving on to the next casino. All right, guys, I am back. So just walking out of this casino right now. I walked in and looked at slot machines first and found 0 to play, nothing at all. So depending on where you go, there's so many people working them now that it can be really dried up. So continued on and finally ended up in the blackjack area. Sat down at the blackjack table. I had a bunch of 50s on me today, so I wanted to get rid of those, so I bought in with $500 in 50s, and started playing and lost my first $1,200 at $50 a bet without winning a hand. I had 1 push and the rest were all losses, so that was a bad start. And then things started evening out, and the middle of that shoe I was down a couple thousand, but by the time the shoe ended I was down 1,000. So moved on to the next shoe, played a few more, and By the time like the fourth or fifth one started, I was down about, I want to say 3,000 that I was down. So I was continuing on playing. My count was going up. I was spreading 50 to 500, and I had a hand with a decent count, and I wanted to put 500 on it. Reach in my pocket, I get what's supposed to be my last $500 in 50s, put them on the table, and it's only $450. And I reach in my pocket to find more money, and I had some 20s and some 5s and stuff like that in that pocket. So I got another 2 20s and 2 5s. I'm getting ready to put them out, and the dealer has already counted my money and given me my chips. So I decided just to go with it. Why call the pit boss over twice for no reason? So I played the 450 on that hand to get a blackjack, so of course. And then from there, things started evening out a little bit. And I ended up actually walking away from the table ahead eventually. You know what? Now I don't know what my username is at work. Yeah, I don't know what my username is at work. So anyway, I ended up ahead 827.50 on that session of blackjack, and went and cashed some of the chips, but it wasn't, I had too many chips, so I couldn't cash them all. So I ended up doing that, and then I ended up looking at slots again, and again, couldn't really find anything. I found one small play and played that through, and ended up ahead $20. So that was really all that I could find. And I ended up leaving the casino ahead 827.50 on the blackjack, and ahead 20 on the slots. I did find, dang it, what is going on here? I can't log into my work computer. Am I about to have a lot of free time here? Let's see here. Don't lock me out. Okay, I think I might be in. My laptop did an update and made me log in with multiple ways, and luckily I got through. But anyway, I did find a must-hit buy that is in range. It's a machine that has 3 jackpots, but the other 2 are at reset levels. So I got to do a little bit of math and figure out if it really is at range. Right now I'm sitting in the car. I don't think anyone's going to mess with that one for a while, but I need to take care of some stuff for work that the director asked me to take care of. So right now I'm rebooting my work PC. I'll take care of that. Then I'll do the math. I'll probably move on to the next casino first, and then if it is a good deal, I'll probably come back here this afternoon when the shift change happens. Now this one has odd shift change hours because the cashier hours are opposite to the dealer hours. So if the dealer hours are, let's say, 12 to 8, the cashier hours are 4 to 12, so that it's in the middle of that shift. So it's hard to be able to do to time it just right where there's a new pit and new cashiers, which is okay as long as you know what you're doing and you realize that that's what's going on. So right now I am in the car, and I'm going to take care of this work, log into my VPN at work, get this stuff done, and then I'm going to do the math as I'm going to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. I did get a call earlier from a friend of mine who works at a casino and was telling me about how the casino is removing all advantage players that they know of. So I don't know what is up there, you know what, but something happened, and anyone that they know of that's an advantage player, they are trying to remove. This is what he's telling me about his place. He told me specific people that I might know that were removed, and I said okay. And he mentioned a region that I'm in, and also Biloxi, Mississippi, which I'm not in. So if you're hustling slots down there, be careful and don't be too obvious. We've talked about this before. Don't sit down or don't just walk by and push a bunch of buttons and keep going. Sit down and pretend you're doing something at least. Watch who's going by you. If it's an attendant or someone that works at a casino, look at the rules, or whatever. Put a voucher in, cash it back out, something, so it doesn't look obvious all the time. All right, so I went to that casino, looked at slots first, and found a couple tiny plays. I think I was up like $25, and then went and played blackjack and had a decent spread on a lower limit table, and ended up doing pretty well. When I first got there, it was very similar to the other casino that I had just left, where I took a big beating right away. I was down 1,000 right away, not winning too many hands, and then things started leveling out a little bit, and then finally I had some good counts. I had 3 or 4 hands, more than that, probably 6 hands, where I had doubles and splits, and I pushed all of them. So I had either push or win-loss or something. I ended up pushing every single one of them, and finally had a good run toward the end, and ended the session ahead $1,200. So plus 1,200 on the blackjack. Then I walked around again, looked at slots again. There were a couple opportunities that were going to be available soon, but weren't quite there yet. I looked at them before I played and after I played, and they were still not there. So I ended up playing a few more things and leaving ahead $83 on the slots. So plus 83 on the slots, plus 1,200 on the blackjack, and we're moving on to another casino. It's become a lot nicer day. It's 43 degrees outside. It's not cloudy anymore. It's like completely clear skies now. Let me check the temperature in the house if it's finally there. I do need to bite the bullet and finally get that furnace fixed. I don't know if I told you, I had a new furnace and they did not do a good job on it, and it's going to have to be repaired again or replaced again. Yeah, it looks like the temperature at home is okay now. So at this point, I did make a decision on this trip. I actually lost weight on the trip, which is nice, but I am going to start eating better. I need to start thinking about the kind of things that the casinos give me and what I can eat that's better for me from the choices that I have, and eat less of everything, obviously. So anyway, right now, moving on, gonna go make some more money, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. So I go into the next place and can't find a slot to play. I find one slot, I actually win $29. Looking, nothing. I go play some blackjack, bop around over there, about even, up and down, just a little bit, not really much action going on. And I'm talking to a friend of mine back there who is a pit boss. Just can't go anywhere though. Not making money, I'm not losing money. Finally, I'm running a little bit low on time for what I'm trying to do, and I end up leaving ahead $575. I go around, look at slots again, don't really see much, make a couple small plays, and end up ahead 69 on the slots. So plus, what did I say, 575 on the blackjack, plus 69 on the slots, and so far it's shaping up to be a pretty decent day. I had it in my mind that I wanted to go back to the second casino and give that another shot, since I have chips anyway. Maybe see if there's anything going on, check out that slot that was very close, and make a decision on that, if I'm going to play that or not, and then we'll go from there. So right now I am back at the second place, and I'm going to go in, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I wanted to cash in some of these chips. I knew I wasn't going to get all of them cashed, but I wanted to cash out some of them. I went into the casino, looked around the slots. I found one tiny slot. I almost didn't even play it. $1.50 for one spin. I hit that, and I made $1.40 profit. and moved on, played some blackjack, lower limit, spreading from 50 to whatever, 500, but never got there. Got all small counts for 45 minutes or so, and ended up leaving with a profit, but just a very miserable time, just back and forth, and just chipped away, and ended up ahead $525. So all in all, so far, it's been a good day. I think I'm over $3,000 profit, and just going to keep on moving here and try to make some more money. So right now, temperature is way up. It's 50 degrees. The sun is shining. Beautiful day. Light breeze. So everything you could ever want. And I am heading to another casino. The goal at this casino is to, I think I've got some free food and stuff. I'll probably get that. And I may or may not have some free play there. If I do, it would be a very small amount, like $15 or something like that. And yeah, that's what the next thing we're gonna do is. And I had a little bit of a disagreement, you could call it. I don't want to call it an argument because I walked away from it, but not at the casino I just left, but the casino before it. I was walking around and I saw one of the two things. Here, I'll the short one first here. They had Ultimate Texas Hold'em with a minimum bet of $15 and a maximum bet of $25. You think maybe a hole carder got to them, and instead of just training their people better, they just decided they're going to make less money? It is just ridiculous. You're going to do a 15 to 25. You might as well take that dealer and put him somewhere else. Why even deal the game? It's crazy. Well, what are they going to make? 3% of $15, 45 cents, and that's what they're hoping for? It's just ridiculous. So right by that area, I saw one of those new machines for craps, and I thought everybody was pulling them out because initially they started with one kind of table, and the people were winning too much on it. They had a bigger table. It's an all digital table, and so they started that, and a bunch of people got arrested in my area because they made $100,000 past posting on it, and so they started putting these little invisible ridges. And by invisible, I mean they're clear plastic, and you can't really see them because the light behind them is so bright. But there's 3 ridges, one on each end and one in the middle of the table. So when you roll the dice, it hits the dice and it, throws them off. So I said, the guy looked at me and he said, "Did you want to sit down, a player?" And I said, "No, I can't play that since they put those ridges in." And he says, "What ridges?" And I told him. And he said, "Why'd they do that?" And I said, "Because they don't want you to win." And I don't know if she was a pit boss or a manager or what the heck she was walking by. And she said, "Why does it matter if they're there?" I said, "Because it throws off the dice. I like having a certain form, and that throws off the dice." And she said, "Well, you're supposed to hit the wall." I said, "Well, sometimes you hit the wall. First you hit the table, and then you hit the back wall." She said, "No, that's not a real throw." Well, lady, I saw 4 or 5 people not make it to the wall, and you guys counted those rolls. Why? Because they lost. And if they won, they would say you didn't hit the wall, so they're free rolling you. So on top of their regular advantage that they have, and the stupid people advantage because stupid people bet wrong, and they're betting against themselves, and they cancel their own bets out and stuff like that. On top of all that, you're free rolling us. And I saw a couple rolls where it hit the table and then bounced up over the ridge, hit the back wall, and it counted. And I saw some that hit the ridge and ended in the middle of the table, and they counted those. So tell me, lady, where is this? It's not a real roll. It doesn't count as a roll if it doesn't hit the wall. It's all baloney. But I didn't want to get into an argument about something that I wasn't even involved with, so I walked away. So whatever, lady. Right now, heading to another casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So you hear all the non-road noise behind me. I am sitting in traffic right now. I did go to the next casino, I did look around, played through, found a couple small plays, tiny plays. I was up about $25, and I saw a couple friends, talked to them for a few minutes, and then I was getting ready to leave, and I see this machine, and I'm like, really? Do I really want to go down this rabbit hole? But I did. I went down the rabbit hole, and I was ahead about $25 at the time, and I get involved with this machine as much as $1,000 before it hits, and I end up hitting for just over $1,000, and I end up ahead $54. So I want to say 54. You guys know, even though I went on vacation, I always forget. Yeah, $54. So plus $54 there, and I got myself some drinks. I didn't want to get any food, and it's all bad food for you. I did eat something today. I do have to confess to you that I did eat something today, and it's not good for me, but I'm about to start something big that's going to be good for me, so it's all right. It's okay if once in a while I do something. I might as well just use it on the first day, right? So I had a double cheeseburger and fries for lunch. And so what did you eat today, MW? Double burger, cheeseburger, and fries. And yeah, so while I was in there, I noticed it was unusually quiet as far as advantage players. But, you know, I don't know. I saw one lady who calls herself an advantage player who loses all her money back, so I can't really count her. And she was playing a non-play on a machine that has potential to be an advantage machine. So, as we've discussed before, when they're not in a position where they should be paying, then they pay incredibly poorly. Like, you know, it could be in the teens. It's so bad. I mean, it could be 50%, it could be 20%, it could be 15% when it's not in position. So that's the risk of those machines. That's why I always say when you have free play, don't play them in an advantage machine if it's not in position. Play it in just an ordinary machine if you have nothing else to play it in, and play it at the lowest denomination you can. So anyway, so I'm done at the casino. I won 54. That takes our total over 3,000 for the day. Very nice day. Tomorrow I will have a bunch of meetings, but I am traveling again tomorrow. And then Saturday I'll be traveling as well. And so because of that, I may not travel on Sunday, because Saturday's going to be a long day. I'm planning on doing just an ordinary business day on Saturday. So I don't know what to expect, how busy the casinos will be. So I don't know, you know, what's going to happen there. So I'll get you that information when I have it. Yeah, right now I got on the highway and immediately was stopped. I saw as soon as I turned the corner onto the highway, and I should have just stopped and gone straight instead of turning the corner. Should have just stopped halfway around the turn. But I'm in a 19-minute slowdown right now that appears to only last about a mile. So once I get past this patch, things should be okay, and then we'll kind of figure out what to do from there. So right now I'm going to let you go. I'm going to pay attention to the traffic and watch some videos, listen to some podcasts, and I'll be back. All right, guys, so I got through the traffic, but while I was sitting in traffic, I counted my money, and I'm like, why do I have too much money? Because I didn't record one of the casinos in my notepad. So yeah, so I ended up ahead 35 or 3,600 for the day. Everything went really well. One odd thing that I just saw, not to say the person is odd, but was a blind guy walking through the casino. Now I've played with actually 3 blind guys in the past at the table, or almost blind people, where someone had to tell them how much money they had, how much they had on the circle, and what the dealer's hand was and what their hand was, and they decided what to do. So I've gone through that. But that was with some assistance, right? So either the dealer was telling them what was going on, or a friend was telling them what was going on. I saw this guy walking alone. So I'm trying to think to myself, what would a person do at the casino by themselves if they were blind? And I can't come up with anything good other than listen to a band play, because they really can't really enjoy much else. So you're going to listen to some music. You wouldn't go there just for the regular music playing over the speakers. So maybe they're going to meet a friend for dinner, or listen to a band, or I have no clue. So if you have ideas, let me know. Be looking for another episode real soon. It'll probably be a short one on churning, credit card stuff. I am a newbie beginner. I have no clue what I'm doing, but by the end of this month, I should have made, end of this month or beginning of next month, I should have made approximately $2,500 off of offers in about 45 to 60 days. So it has been interesting doing this, and I am learning a lot. There's a lot more to come, and I will update you as I learn, and I hope to make it more of a full-time thing eventually. We start off with blackjack, we move to other small plays here and there, and then eventually, if we're still sticking with it and our bankroll is big enough, we get into some bigger plays, and from there the sky's the limit. But eventually you're going to have some other sources of income coming in. You can't be going to the casinos forever. So whether it's stocks, dividends, real estate, whatever it might be, and churning is something that you can do from home. And I'll get into all that later on, but I've been listening to a lot of different things and reading a lot of different things, and maybe we can do this together. And when I find things, maybe I can start posting them, and you guys can take advantage of them as well. I'm not trying to make money, but if I can give you points, you can give me points, we can help each other out and grow together, I think that would be awesome. So right now I'm heading home. Like I said, long couple of days coming up, and lots of work coming up. I'm going to get home, get some rest, and leave early in the morning again tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.